What's up, movie lovers? I'm Mike, and this is Gotta Love Them Movies. Oh, you guys, welcome back to Gotta Love Them Movies, your daily dose of movie news. I'm your host, Mr. Mike Brown. I'm here all the time. And ladies and gentlemen, today is a glorious day. Yesterday was Thanksgiving. I don't know what you guys got up to for Thanksgiving. Or rather, should I say, American Thanksgiving. Because some of our viewers, don't celebrate Thanksgiving, and some of our viewers celebrated Thanksgiving a month ago in Canada. So yesterday was American Thanksgiving. Good times. I can't say good times had by all. But Kim and I had just... Yesterday was just one of the best days of the year. It was so good for us. I mean... for anyone who knows me, you know that I almost always, very religiously attend the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I have a spot picked out. We're at 69th and Central Park West. I go every single year. I get my plotted. We bring blankets. We bring chairs. It's an event for me. This is something that I've been doing for years. And, so last year, I was working on a cruise ship, so I couldn't go. And then this year, I swore, all right, I'm going to find a way to be in the parade. And, of course, COVID hit, and I wasn't able to do anything. So, wasn't even able to go attend the parade. So we stayed at home, and I dressed up in a turkey costume. I probably should have had this picture ready, but, oh, man, had a nice little turkey costume on, and we watched the parade. It was lovely. Then we went to Whole Foods and picked up our Thanksgiving feast, brought it home. Come to find out, the people at Whole Foods gave us way too much food. They gave us way more food than we paid for. And it was a pre-order. It was like Thanksgiving pre-order thing. Oh, man. We came home with so much food. I think about a third. I'm not exaggerating. About a third of everything that we brought home was not a part of our order. We got way more. It was glorious. So we called Whole Foods. We're like, I think you guys made a mistake. They're like, we're not going to take it back. You keep it. You enjoy it. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll call whoever we need to call. And I was like, great. Awesome. Yeah, just watched Christmas movies, watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, one of two Thanksgiving movies that I actually know of, or maybe three Thanksgiving movies. I think it's fair we can all agree that Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is the quintessential Thanksgiving movie. And then there's Pieces of April, which I literally just found out about yesterday. And Freebirds, the animated, is it DreamWorks? I think it's a DreamWorks film. Anyway, those are the only three Thanksgiving movies that I know of. What are your favorite Thanksgiving movies? Jump down to the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. And you guys... I just got a message, or I just got a comment in the live feed that says, too early. Good morning from Mr. Scott Schultz. Scott, if you're still watching, happy day after Thanksgiving to yourself. If you think this is early, if you think 10 o'clock in the morning is too early for a movie talk show, oh, buddy, I have got some news for you. My guest today on this, you can hear him laughing in the background. My guest today, you've seen him on the show before. He's coming all the way from Anchorage, Alaska. It is 6 o'clock in the morning in Anchorage, Alaska. Please put your hands together for Mr. Darryl Akins.
Good. What's good? What's good, y'all? What's good? Movies. I love movies, as you can see.
Darryl, you woke up so early to be on this show. Why?
Yes, I did. Why? First is you. You know what I'm saying? If it was somebody else, I probably would have been like, nah, I'm sleeping. But, my man Mike, always a good listen, always a good watch. And I wanted to be a part of perpetuating your dream.
Oh, shucks. Well, honestly, truth be told, this show would not be what it was if it wasn't for you. And not just Darryl Akins. I mean, yes, a big part of that. But every guest that I have on the show, everyone brings their own insight. I feel like I'm the constant if this were a comedy scene, if this was a comedy sketch, I would be the straight man and you would be the absurd man, right? I would be this,
Okay.
like, and it's just, and I don't mean that in a wacky sense. It's just everybody has their own crazy sensibilities and insight.
Okay.
And I say crazy sensibilities. It's their own insights to things, their own opinions, their own views. A lot of times, things that I just haven't stopped to consider before. And I remember back when you were on the show. The last time it was the debate show, Got to Debate the Movies, up against Kay Hartman,
Yes.
the reigning champion.
Yes. Yep. Also from Anchorage.
Also from Anchorage. Two improvisers, both in Anchorage. And you guys have just kind of been circling each other for a while. I thought that was such a beautiful thing.
Right.
But yeah, man, like, just to have your perspective. And wow, you gave Kay a run for her money. Like, you almost took it.
I was just treading water for a second there, but I had to get my bearings. I dug in, and I like to think I was a formidable opponent.
I think you were doing a little bit better than just treading water. So, Darryl, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being a part of the show and being a part of the community, the film fan community. So, all right, guys, if you haven't already done so, don't forget to hop over to YouTube and, there we go, youtube.com, type in Gotta Love Them Movies. You'll see a little red box in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Go ahead and click that button. What clicking that button does is it helps us to widen our subscriber base. But, Mike, we're watching this on Facebook Live. Why do we have to go over to YouTube and click subscribe on your YouTube channel? Well, Francesca, thank you for asking that question very much. Here's why that's important. With the more subscribers we get, the more videos get watched on the channel. With the more watch content the channel gets, the more I get to qualify for ad revenue, and I get to make this show my full-time job. So I'd very much appreciate you going over to YouTube and clicking that subscribe button. And of course, as always, once we hit 1,000 subscribers, this show will be moving from Facebook to YouTube. So just something to be aware of on your screens. Screens, calendars, how about all that stuff? Anyway, guys, we're going to move forward and take a little bit of movie news.
What?
All right, you guys, it is time to open up that movie news tab on all of our web browsers. And our first tab on the web browser comes to us from Deadline. Apparently, there's a trailer that just dropped for Mariah Carey's Magical Christmas Special, which is coming out on December 4th on Apple TV+. And yes, it's all centered around All I Want for Christmas Is You. It's all centered around that song. It's the big centerpiece. I don't think that it's any stretch of the imagination to say that that song, first of all, the longevity that song has already had, it is so closely identified with, like, not just the contemporary holiday scene, but Christmas in general, just the whole holiday spirit. I mean, like, when I was growing up, I remember listening to, like, the old classics, like from Bing Crosby. I think Frank Sinatra had a few in there. Just like the old classic Burl Ives, Sleigh Ride and Carol of the Bells and all that stuff. And All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey came out in the mid-90s, and I hated that song. I wasn't the biggest fan of Mariah Carey when I was younger. She was the new hit pop star. I was not the demographic that her music was targeting, and that's fine. That's totally cool. But All I Want for Christmas Is You is one of those songs that has followed me and followed me and I just can't seem to get away from it. And in the very recent future, I would say maybe about like 2 or 3 years now, I have started kind of coming around to the song, and I actually kind of like it now. And when I see Mariah Carey, when I say performing, she's more lip syncing than anything else in this promo video. But it's like, you know that she's lip syncing because that's one of the things that Mariah Carey is known for. But even more than that, my goodness, this trailer just feels like the embodiment of Christmas and the holiday spirit. It's very reminiscent to me of the Bill Murray Christmas special that they did on Netflix a few years ago, but better. Like, the thing that was funny about the Bill Murray holiday like Christmas special or whatever is that it was kind of sad. It was a little pathetic. The whole idea is that Bill Murray's stuck in like a hotel in New York City and everything's been shut down. There's like a huge blizzard. Nobody can go anywhere. And so he's stuck inside. Remind you of any current situations? But again, like, it was a little sad. It was a little depressing. It was a little pathetic. But the Mariah Carey Christmas special for Apple TV Plus, looks fun. It looks vibrant. It looks uplifting. It seems to be in the vein of a lot of those kind of like traditional specials where it's a variety show, where it's, hey, yes, it's all centered around Mariah Carey and All I Want for Christmas Is You, but there's so many other musical acts, so many special guests that seem to pop up out of nowhere, and they have like little bits and little scenes and things that they do to create like a really fun magical Christmas special. Now, this could suck. This whole thing could just be complete dog turds, right? But I mean, let's be fair. If a trailer does its job right, it's supposed to capture the feeling and give you a real true sense as to what this movie is supposed, or in this case, a Christmas special, is supposed to be and look like and feel like. And if the actual special turns out to be anything like what the trailer looks like, I think we're in for a real treat here. Darryl, have you had a chance to see the trailer? Have you seen this before? If so, if not, like, what are your takes on it? And if you haven't, based off of my description, like, where do you stand? Like, does this get you excited? Where do you stand with Mariah Carey?
Christmas specials. First, I have not seen the trailer to the Mariah Carey Christmas special, but from your description, it sounds absolutely delightful. I think to myself, Mariah Carey isn't exactly my cup of tea around Christmas time. But I know that she is a staple. She is indeed a fixture. And so, yeah, why not? If she's doing something that's Christmassy and holidayish, and it's, in my opinion, quote unquote, worth it. Yeah, I don't see why we shouldn't give her a whirl.
I agree. Like, let's see what this thing is. Let's give it a shot. Let's give this thing the best chance that it has at succeeding, because this song, All I Want for Christmas Is You, is so closely tied with all things holiday, all things Christmas, and it is endured. It's 25 years old, maybe more. It lasted a lot longer than I ever thought it would. Now, I mean, there's a lot of people at the time, because it was such a huge smash in the mid-90s when it came out. It was such a huge song. I'm sure there were plenty of other people that were saying, "Oh, no, this is going to be one of those new classics that is just going to endure the test of time." And it has, to a certain extent, and I think it will continue to do that even long after Mariah Carey's time here on Earth. But I don't know. Where did you stand in the mid '90s when All I Want for Christmas Is You came out? Did you like the song?
I have always been like sort of. I've got those 10 or 15 Christmas songs that I keep in rotation. Around the holiday season. All I Want for Christmas is one of them. This Christmas by Donny Hathaway it stays in heavy rotation around Christmas time. What Do the Lonely Do at Christmas by The Emotions is another song that's just it's there. It's in the house. If we're playing Christmas music, it has to be on there. And Mariah Carey's song is one of those ones that's in the rotation. It's just at Christmas, it's dare I say it, what you expect to hear.
It is. No, you're exactly right. It is what you expect to hear. And that is, again, through the it's weird to say generations. Is that a thing? Maybe
Yes, it
one step
has. I
removed?
mean, if you think about it, it has endured through at least 2 generations already.
It's true. It's true.
So,
Big question is for you guys. What do you think of the Mariah Carey magical Christmas special coming out on Apple TV Plus? Are you looking forward to it? Are you over Mariah Carey? Like, where do you stand? Are you going to see? I'm definitely going to see this because this trailer actually kind of got me excited to see it. And I've never really been excited for Mariah Carey property before. Anyway, but question is, what do you think? Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys, we are going to veer away from Christmas just a little bit. And so this news, well, let me just say, let's just put it out there. Fantastic Beasts 3, Mads Mikkelsen has officially been cast in the role as Grendel Grindelwald. Is it Grendel? I think it's Grendel Grindelwald.
Grindelwald.
So last week, or maybe like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that, it was being heavily rumored and not just kind of like on the cheaper web. When I say cheaper websites, I mean, like I have any room to talk, right? But on like some of the some of the other ones, like We Got This Covered or Cosmic Book News, they're in my opinion more of like the rumor mill kind of websites or YouTube channels where they take a rumor and like, oh, let's make it a big headline, right? And this story did not come out of one of the rumor mill websites. This story came out of like Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, even Collider. Collider does a really good job at vetting their facts, and even though it was like an insider's tip, but like from a very reliable source, it was being reported that Mads Mikkelsen was being cast as Grindelwald in replacement of Johnny Depp for the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Well, then a week ago, Mads Mikkelsen was being interviewed for the new film that he was in. Oh, shoot. What was the name of it? It's escaping me at the moment. Anyway, he was being interviewed for being in this new film that he's in, and somebody asked him about being cast in Fantastic Beasts 3 as Grindelwald. And he was like, no, like, that's a total rumor. I have not heard anything like this. If Warner Brothers wants to give me a call, I'm here. They know my number. But yeah, no. And when we talked about this on the show like last week, I called BS. I said, I think Mads Mikkelsen is just being sly. I mean, there's always the possibility that he was being truthful and saying, no. Like, I genuinely have not been contacted by Warner Brothers about this. But the way that the insider's tip said, the director of the film, Mike Nichols, was like, no. I want, like, Mads Mikkelsen is my first choice to play Grindelwald, whatever his name is. So like we knew that was happening. Like it was just there were a lot of things just seemed a little too. I don't buy exactly what Mads Mikkelsen is saying right now. And then last night, word officially dropped from Warner Brothers. They made an official press statement. Mads Mikkelsen is indeed officially playing Grindelwald. I mean, like, it's at this point, Darryl, we've kind of beat the horse dead a little bit. Is he going to be like, he's definitely going to do it? No, well, he says he's not, but I call BS. Oh, now he totally is Grindelwald. Darryl, why do people do, like, why ruse? Why go through the ruse here? Because, like, it seemed like the writing was on the wall, right? Like, Fantastic Beasts 3 is already in production. They filmed at least 2 scenes with Johnny Depp. Come to find out, nope, sorry, Depp, we got to let you go. Now we have to, we're already in the middle of production, and we need to move fast. Because we're already in, like, with every day that we don't have a Grindelwald, we're losing money. So we need to recast ASAP. Why go through the ruse? Well, like, where do you stand here?
it seemed like you said, like the rumor leaked from a reliable source, and and what's your call? I mean, unless there's some kind of contractual stipulation where it's like, okay, we can ask you, but you can't ask us. We can tell you if you say, is that what it is, but we can't say for sure what it is. Hollywood mess. I mean, I don't see any logical reason for him to deny it, especially when we had already known for sure that Johnny Depp wasn't going to be in the role anymore.
Well, you actually bring up a great point in saying that, like, we can ask you, but you can't ask us, and like Hollywood contracts and stuff like that. That makes a lot of sense, especially being that last night Warner Brothers made the official announcement. So it's plausible that it was written into his contract. You can't say anything about this until Warner Brothers makes the official statement. It's that could be
kind of like Tom Holland and the Avengers thing, and he was just lipping off about everything.
I'm sorry,
like,
which time?
Tom,
which time?
You can't say that. Shh, be quiet. Probably something similar is what I'm thinking. He couldn't really talk about it until maybe yesterday.
That's a great point. I mean, that's the only logical thing that I can think of. But guys, big question for you is, why do you think that Mads Mikkelsen had to stay tight-lipped about this? Like, was it a contract thing, or was there something that we're overlooking? Also, are you looking forward to seeing Mads Mikkelsen play Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts 3? Do you think that he's a good choice? Is there somebody you would rather seen in the role? Jump on down in the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, compared to Johnny Depp, ooh, yeah. Mads has got some huge shoes to fill. Upside, he's got experience playing sorcerers.
He's also kind of like, he's got experience playing bad guys.
Yes, like, definitely.
Really good bad. Like, I'm sorry, but Casino Royale is, I think, my favorite James Bond film of all time because it's so well done. And Mads Mikkelsen as Le Chiffre is just perfection. So good, man.
Yeah, he got to let his accent hang out.
Let that accent hang out, man.
He sounds villainous anyway. So
he is. Yeah. He totally is.
Yeah, it was not a stretch at all for him.
All right, guys, our next bit of movie news today comes to us from The Hollywood Reporter. And again, as we're talking about the rumor mill, this is coming from a legit source, The Hollywood Reporter. It's looking like Godzilla vs. Kong is very likely to go to HBO Max. And let's jump into the article here for a second, because there's a little negotiations going on. So apparently Netflix has made a bid to excuse me. Oh shoot, is it Paramount? My goodness, Legendary Pictures, excuse me. So Netflix approached Legendary Pictures and they say, "Hey, listen, your movie here, Godzilla versus Kong versus Godzilla. We want to pay you $200 million. Just give us the movie. We will now own it and we will share it all over the Netflixes. It'll be a Netflix original, right?" Well, turns out Legendary Pictures is kind of holding out a little bit because they want to hear what Warner Brothers has to say. They want to hear what Warner Media has to say. This may actually be going to HBO Max. HBO Max right now is in kind of a really interesting position where they are not just creating new content. They're not just putting out some really good things. They're trying to expand their library. As Netflix has taught us, and as Disney is currently doing, the library associated with these streaming services is the most important thing right now. It's like studies have shown 80% of all content watched on Netflix is library material. We're talking The Office. We're talking I mean, it's not on there anymore, but like Frasier and Friends. Do you remember when those shows were on Netflix? Um, where, you know, like all of their just library content, you guys, Parks and Rec, shows that people are comfortable with, shows that people know and love. And so
Yeah.
Netflix is paying $14 billion a year in licensing fees. That's just licensing fees. That's it. And then, you know, they have all their day-to-day operations and this and that and the other and blah, 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 all that stuff on top of it. But $14 billion a day in licensing fees. Disney, with Disney Plus, they're doing something completely brilliant because they own all of their own content. You know that $73 billion deal they made with to acquire Fox, 20th Century Fox? Yeah, a lot of that is all library material. Aliens, Predator, Die Hard. Now, you know, understandable, like a lot of this stuff is, you know, more mature content, but they're trying to build a library here. Netflix knows that they are in competition, obviously, with Apple. They're in competition with Netflix. Or, I'm sorry, they're not in competition with themselves. They're in competition with Disney. They're in competition with HBO Max, CBS All Access. These are streamers that own their own content. They own their own content. So they don't have to pay $14 billion a year in licensing fees or however much money they want to pay a year in licensing fees. HBO owns all of their own content because A, it's original, and B, for the stuff that's Warner Brothers owns, Warner Media owns HBO Max. So they can stream all of the DC stuff, all of the, you know, Harry Potter movies. No, I understand they took the Harry Potter movies off of HBO Max, but if they want to put them back on, they can, and they don't have to pay anybody a licensing fee for it. Same thing with Disney. Same thing with Apple TV Plus. And now it looks like Legendary Pictures with Godzilla and Kong want to kind of hold back a little bit. They kind of want to say, all right, we've heard an offer from Netflix. Let's see what we hear that Warner Media is cooking up a little deal. Let's see what they have to offer. Now, Darryl, to you and me, $200 million would basically set me my family, my family's family, my future posterity. I think the Brown family would be set, and all of our extended family for maybe 100 years, maybe for like the next 100 years would be fine.
Little bit, yeah.
But to these major corporations, $200 million, there you go, take it, enjoy, see what happens. I understand that like our perspective is everything here, but with Legendary Pictures, I mean, they haven't passed. They haven't passed on Netflix. They're just waiting to see what HBO Max has to say. Do you think this could become another bidding war like what happened with 20th Century Fox? I mean, obviously, Godzilla versus Kong is not on the same level as an entire studio. But do you think we could see like a smaller version of a bidding war here? And how much do you think Godzilla versus Kong is worth to a streaming service?
Right now, everybody is literally out there battling for original material. With the I don't know if it was a topic that we were going to talk about, but with the release or the announcement of the release of Wonder Woman 1984, that's going to be a win for HBO Max as far as, you know, streaming that. So I think this deal with Legendary Pictures is coming on the heels of that. People still wanting to remain significant in the eyes of fans. Wonder Woman is one of those ones, regardless, at least I feel like, regardless of whatever platform you show it on, it's still going to hit because the clamoring for it has been
it's been insane.
Yeah. And a lot of these studios are starting to realize they're going to have to come up off of some stuff number wise, you know, just to stay afloat.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't see it being a bad thing. per se. Um, Whoever gets it's going to be a win for him because yeah, Kong versus Godzilla is highly anticipated
Highly
as
anticipated.
well, and it has the potential to be something classic. I think if it's done right.
Well, I think you just hit the
Yeah,
nail on the head. It needs to be done right. Um,
yeah,
I mean, here's the thing: Godzilla versus Kong. Well, I mean, okay, let me back up. You mentioned Wonder Woman 84. Wonder Woman 84 going to HBO Max is an unprecedented situation. Never
yeah,
before has a gargantuan tentpole film. And when we say tentpole films, it's it's a term used by like the studio and Hollywood and whatever pundits like ourselves. We say tentpole films when you put an anchor into the ground to anchor a tent pole. It needs to be like everything else is built around that anchor that goes into that
right,
stake into the ground, right?
right,
Wonder Woman is one of those huge stakes. It is a huge tent pole that all the weight of the studio or the weight of the tent can rest on top of. Sorry, I'm trying to change screens here. Trying to rest on top of that one film. Excuse me. Woof. Had a little breakfast just come up just there. That's a little more information than anybody else needed, but hey, bodies are weird, right? So, yeah, I mean, like, Wonder Woman 1984 going to streaming is unprecedented because in theaters, now I personally don't think that Wonder Woman 84 would make $1 billion at the box office in a non-COVID world, but it has the potential to. The first Wonder Woman in a non-COVID world made $900 million. It stopped just shy of $1 billion. Just shy of $1 billion. $900 million. That's a crazy amount of money. It's possible that Wonder Woman 84 could do the same business or even better. So with Wonder Woman 84 going to streaming, going straight to HBO Max, that says a few things. One, Warner Media is, for now, given the current climate, the situation, they have accepted the fact that this movie is not going to make $1 billion because it can't, because COVID, right? And also the fear of the people. Even if this vaccine that Pfizer has now come out with a 95% accuracy reading or whatever, however you want to grade that, even if it works the way that they say it works and has the impact that we all want it to make, the trust of the movie-going audience to go back to theaters is still something that you have to win over. You need to win that trust back. You have to earn it. It's not just going to be inherent like, oh, COVID's not a thing anymore. Let's go back to the movies. You need to earn that trust again, right?
There is a faction of people, though, as we well know, that do not really care for masks and protocol and things of that nature. Now, I know for a while back, the movie theaters were actually open, and some were showing first run movies and some weren't.
Mm-hmm.
And for those ones that were showing first run movies, there was actually, at least here in Anchorage, I can't speak for anywhere else, there was a contingent of moviegoers that were attending movie theaters during the pandemic.
Sure.
So I'm sure there are those little pockets of moviegoers everywhere that will attend, because if I'm not mistaken, they were saying it was going to be released on streaming and
Correct. And in theaters.
So if you're releasing it in theaters too, you're either A, betting that those people are going to show up and help to sustain your numbers, or you are just confident that the combination of the two, streaming and going to theaters, will be enough to show a profit.
Well, full transparency. I am one of those people that have returned back to the movie theaters. Now, movie theaters are not open in New York City. So, yes, once I took a field trip out to New Jersey, and we went to a movie theater in New Jersey. And once we had, like, a couple months ago, my girlfriend and I went down to Orlando to see some family. And we went to 2 different movie theaters in Orlando. And it was one of the best movie-going experiences I've ever had, New Jersey included. I brought my own bottle of alcohol. We wiped everything down. Everybody was more than socially distant. Even if nobody was wearing the masks, the majority of people were. But even if people weren't, you're so far away from the closest person next to you that I feel the movie theaters have done an incredible job at doing what they can to ensure a safe movie-going atmosphere. But, that aside, with Godzilla versus Kong going, the possibility of it going straight to streaming, HBO Max or Netflix or whatever home it ends up on, it looks like Legendary Pictures has already resigned themselves to not showing this in an exhibition theater. It looks like they have come around to the idea of like, all right, here's another potential tentpole film. I don't think Godzilla versus Kong is a potential billion-dollar film, but I think it could make 600 to 800, somewhere between 600 to 800 in a non-COVID world. In a COVID world, 250.
Well, if we're talking about that franchise, hasn't it, as far as numbers, hasn't it? I love it personally because I grew up on the original Godzilla.
Yeah.
But the Godzilla, the Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters, I've enjoyed all of that. I like the
they're pure popcorn films.
The reintroduction of kaiju to a theater screen. But number wise, those movies haven't done well.
This is true.
So I think they're thinking, okay, they've gotten progressively worse, and Kong versus Godzilla could potentially be a risk as far as moviegoers, because I find for me that there are 2 kinds of moviegoers. There are the moviegoers who are fans of what they're going to see, mm-hmm. and then there are people who I'm just taking in a movie. So let's just call them typical moviegoers. And you're going to have a lot more, I think, typical moviegoers going to see that movie than you are. Well, I take that back. I said that backwards. You're going to have a lot more fans of that franchise, of those characters going to that movie than you are a typical moviegoer. And I don't think the typical moviegoer is going, oh, hey, honey, what are we going to go see tonight? Kong versus Godzilla? Nah. That's not the typical moviegoer movie, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that being the case. Because, I mean, anytime you have a fan of anything, like people tend to support that thing more. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be dead honest. If there was a brand new Ninja Turtle movie coming out in theaters tomorrow, I would find a way to get to a movie theater, probably in New Jersey or Connecticut. I would find a way to go see it. Like, I would. Here's the thing. Wonder Woman is coming out in theaters on Christmas Day. I've already made arrangements to go see it. to go see it. So, I mean, it's... I definitely think that you're onto something here. Question is for you guys, what do you think of Godzilla versus Kong? Do you think it moving to either HBO Max or Netflix or whatever streaming service it goes to, do you think this is a good idea for the studio? Do you think that this is a good idea for, obviously it's not being shown in theaters. So AMC, Regal, obviously Regal because they're shut down, but like Cinemark, Landmark, Alamo Drafthouse, whatever movie theater, Carmike Cinemas, whatever. This is going to hurt them a little bit more. What do you think? Jump on down in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys, we have two more bits of news to cover before we take your live questions. This isn't new. This is one of those rumor mill stories. So let me just put it plain and simple out there altogether. This is a rumor mill story. So the Den of Geek, there's a video running around on the internet right now of a leaked footage from somebody's monitor or television or something, some kind of a monitor. There's a leaked image. Somebody like held a camera down at a low angle and it's kind of looking up off to the side. The images playing on the screen of this monitor are of a leaked, and it's in quotations because we can't really verify the validity of this video. But it looks like Disney Plus is in the process of releasing a new advertisement promo for Disney Plus, or rather, Disney is releasing a promo for Disney Plus that is introducing two things. Well, I mean, like a whole, it's like advertising Disney Plus as a whole. But there's two main points of interest in this trailer. First point of interest: Black Widow is going to be released on Disney Plus for like with Premier Access. What is Premier Access? It's the same thing of what happened to Milan. If you want to watch Black Widow, you have to pay $30 to see it. So that's bit of news number one. And when I say news, take that in quotations. News, because none of this has been verified. The second bit of news is that this promo looks like Disney Plus is introducing a restricted access for people who are 18 and over. 18 plus is kind of what they're calling it. So like with a special password and special access to be granted, it looks like through Disney Plus, you will be able to access all of the hard R, not even the hard R, just basic R-rated content. Movies like Die Hard, Alien, Predator, Deadpool, Logan, Deadpool 2, like hard R movies, which Disney traditionally has been very cut and dry in saying, like, that is not the kind of content we produce. That is not the kind of content we perpetuate. If you want that kind of content under a Disney umbrella, we have TriStar Pictures. And, I understand TriStar Pictures doesn't exist anymore. But like there have been other, I guess now it would be 20th Century Studios. Oh, if you wanna see this R-rated movie that's under the Disney umbrella, it's being produced by 20th Century Studios, right? Formerly 20th Century Fox. But based on this leaked trailer, and again, like when I say leaked in quotation marks, the validity of this has not been verified. So why are we even talking about it? Well, here's the thing, you guys. This video has been circulating so heavily right now, it's becoming increasingly more difficult to avoid. So many people keep reaching out of different places and be like, Mike, did you see this? Mike, did you hear about this news? Mike. So I kind of feel like we need to address it and discuss it. First of all, it could be a fan-made trailer. It very well could be the most perfect fan-made promo trailer of all time. It could be. But is it? I don't know. Then again, it actually could be a leaked thing. If this is true, this has massive implications and massive ripple effects that will go through Disney through through the eternities. Disney opening up a section of their Disney brand for 18 plus content is huge. The second, Black Widow potentially being released on Disney Plus for a premium charge. Previously we've just known that Black Widow was going to be released in May. But according to this promo, it looks like it could be released as early as April 16th with Premier Access. Now, there's another aspect of this trailer that needs to be brought up. And I can't remember what particular was it Falcon and the Winter Soldier? It may have been Falcon and the Winter Soldier. in this promo, in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, there it's like as each property keeps popping up: WandaVision, Mandalorian, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Black Widow, whatever it is that they're promoting, or like Deadpool, Die Hard, whatever. It has the title of the movie or the property or the television show, and it says when, like the date it's being released on Disney Plus or like Disney Plus 18 or like whatever. But then it also says at the end of the whole thing that this service will not be available until April of 2021. But when it says Falcon and Winter Soldier, it says it's being released in March. So Falcon and Winter Soldier is coming out in March, but this new service isn't debuting until April. Those dates don't add up. They don't add up. So there's a lot of speculation saying this. I mean, that could just be a mistake either on whoever's faking it or whoever legitimately put this thing together. Could just be a mistake. There's so much speculation. None of this has been verified. I can't even find a source for where the video was originally premiered or debuted. I was able to track this as far back as the Den of Geek. Den of Geek looks like that they were the first people to report on this story. And even they go through and talk about, we don't even know if this is true. Like, this could be the greatest faked video of all time, but we don't know. They don't know. Even Den of Geek didn't supply a link as to where this came from. All Den of Geek said is that, let's see, where'd they say? I think they just said that it's making the rounds on the internet. The video, the authenticity of which has not been substantiated, arrived after it was noted that streaming content would become Disney's primary focus. So it just says that it arrived. It doesn't say where it arrived. It's just kind of one of those things that appeared, and we're not even really sure where it appeared. So here, Darryl, you've had a chance to watch this trailer. You've seen this thing. It's been circulating around the internet heavily in all of the rumor mill websites. Top trades like Variety, Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, even Collider, they are not reporting on the story because it hasn't been verified, and it's all coming through back channels that they can't verify. So I don't know. What do you like? Is there any truth to this? Like, where do you stand?
I have been on both extremes of the situation. I have interacted on sites where people say, okay, first of all, the Black Widow movie is done.
Correct.
Okay,
it's ready to go.
It's post-production. Okay, so it is totally plausible that not only a trailer, but there may be an entire Black Widow movie leaked somewhere. I'm not saying that's possible, but it is
we
plausible.
we don't want to start new rumors here.
Right. But I mean, that's out there. If we're talking about rumor mill and rumor
the
type
possibility.
things,
it's on a hard drive somewhere, so all somebody has to do is just copy it and paste it. Yeah.
And there are people who have claimed to have seen it. Now, personally, as tight as they've been clinging to Black Widow and release dates and all of that, I don't think they would knowingly put that material out there for people to see, and if they did, they'd get a handle on it real quick. But this has been, like you said, out there for a little while, so you kind of have to wonder, is it legitimate? And me personally, knowing what I know about stuff leaking and getting out, and I think it is. As far as their services streaming and all of that, I think it's a good thing. With the pandemic out, you might as well. I mean, how much further are you going to push it out? What happens if dates go awry again? You're just going to keep pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back. At some point, it's going to be like, is it even worth
Now, are you talking
it at this
about
point?
Black Widow, or are you talking about the Disney 18 plus?
I'm talking about Black Widow. As
Okay,
far as
all
the
right.
Disney 18 plus, yeah, I would put that past the beat.
I mean, the thing that strikes me odd about Disney 18 plus is, okay, I understand, like, with restricted access, you need a password, blah, blah, blah. Like, parents set it up so that they can watch what they want and don't have to worry about giving the remote to their kids and just accidentally fumbling into restricted content territory.
All right.
It just seems like a huge, I don't want to say huge departure, but I don't know, maybe a huge departure as to what Disney has already established itself as. You know,
I think at this point, man, Disney is just trying to be the 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 grandmaster of of social
yeah,
media at this point, and in order to contend with Apple
yeah.
and Netflix and Hulu, you gonna have to grab a hold of some of that R-rated content and put it in contention. And that's the only thing I see that's keeping them from
Yeah.
just reigning supreme over all social media, is that they don't have R-rated material and movies and things like that they're putting out there to contend with the other platforms.
I mean, this, like you say, this very well could be real, and it's been out, for a few days. The
Yeah,
article from Den of Geek came out 3 days ago, which means the leak came out at
before
least a
that.
few hours before that, maybe a day
Yeah,
before. So this leak has a potential to be out there for what, like 4 days now. And that's in the
at least.
digital realm. That's an eternity. That's a long time
Yep.
for it to be.
Yep.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
that once yeah, once you're out there, that people sharing and resharing, and yeah,
but I also
it's
go back to the major
exponential at
trades.
that point.
None of the major trades have reported on this story. None of them have. So I mean, maybe they know something that it's such a complicated. It's such an interesting story to me because it could be true. It also could not be true. I mean, there's nothing that's been validated here. I'm inclined. Here's where I'm inclined to think. I side with you. I tend to think that this is real, that it is legitimate, which makes it even more curious to me as to why none of the major trades have talked about this. We know that Disney's investors meeting is coming up on December 10th. So December 10th, we're getting some big announcements. We know we're going to get some big announcements because Disney needs to make big decisions right now. They need to make big decisions. And if this leaked video is if it was made in preparation for their investors meeting, and I understand, like, from that regard, I can understand the discrepancies from, like, the dates in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. They don't match up properly, and so some of us are dubious of that. I understand that. It seems like this is, like you say, this is kind of the smart decision for Disney to do. I mean, this is still one of those stories that's in the rumor mill. I'm inclined to think that it's true, but there's also, I want to say I'm like 55% on board with this, but there's still another 45% of me that's like, I don't know. I don't know if I buy it. That's where I'm
Yeah,
at.
I think Disney's going to continue to shock and surprise everyone.
I could not have put it more succinctly myself. Yeah. I mean, there's a very good chance that Disney is going to shock and surprise everyone. Question is for you guys, what do you think Disney is going to do? Do you think that this leaked video is authentic? Do you think that it's real? Or do you think that it was faked or maybe it could have been real, but now that it's been leaked and released, maybe Disney is going to steer their ship in a different direction. What do you think? Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys, we have one last bit of news to cover before we end the show. Well, first we need to take your live questions, and then we'll end the show for the day. I wanted to end on a positive note. We all understand the untimely death. Is it untimely? I don't know if it was. I don't know if I don't know if Alex Trebek's passing was untimely or not. However, as beloved as he was before his passing, during one of his last tapings, he was able to record a Thanksgiving message where he basically comes out and says, "Hey, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. We just want to wish everyone well. Also, keep the faith" was one of his the big things that he was promoting in the video, just in kindness. If you've ever watched this show before, you know that I end every single show with a plea to everyone to speak kind words to each other and to, be excellent to each other. And this is exactly what Alex Trebek was doing. Like, he understood that we live in a weird, crazy world. He understands that there's a lot of unkindness happening right now, and it's just one more plea, and it makes it that much more impactful now that he is not with us, to see this posthumous Thanksgiving message, as the article points out, this posthumous Thanksgiving message of, you guys, like, just be kind to each other. Be kind to each other. Hold on to hope. This is what we have. Keep on keeping on. I think this is a beautiful message. This isn't anything earth-breaking, earth-shattering. The mountains are not going to fall apart from this particular type of message. But Darryl, when you hear these thoughts and sentiments and words from kind of a game show icon like Alex Trebek, what's your knee-jerk reaction, and like where does this sit with you?
Well, Alex Trebek is not kind of a game show icon. He is definitely.
He's one of the most quintessential.
Yeah, when you say game show, he is at least in my mind, is automatically what pops up when you say game show host. I think that kind of message, especially now, is definitely necessary. Just like you, when I end my weekly podcast, one of the last things I say is for us to be good and to be good to each other.
I love it.
Because that's something that we definitely have to promote. We have to promote positivity and being positive, as opposed to this debilitating negativity that has just been kind of it's in the last couple of months, I've seen, especially, it's just been commonplace for us to be nasty to one another, to be very disagreeable, to even be truculent.
Ooh, good word choices.
Another, and it's like, okay, that's not what we as human beings should be saying or doing to one another. So yeah, I feel like his message is right on time at the right time of year. It's unfortunate that shortly after that message, he departed from us. But yeah, to answer that question, that message was perfect. I mean, the timing was impeccable.
I could not agree more.
And it couldn't have been a better person saying it. I mean, because I always from him get kind of a feeling of things being hopeful and potential. There's going to be better on the horizon kind of vibe.
I always got the impression from Alex Trebek that he was one of the best of us. Like I mean, I didn't have an opportunity to meet Alex Trebek in person, but I did once upon a time, years ago. I went to a taping of Jeopardy in Las Vegas, and he's nice and kind and whatever, but he also, maybe it was just he was having an off day. That particular taping that I went to, he was grouchy. Let me just say he was a little grouchy. That being said,
Yeah.
the persona that he puts out there, the things that he's known for. I mean, for heaven's sakes, he has been, how many commercials has he done for like animal charities and cancer charities and insurance and healthcare and like in all this stuff. And like, it seems like the image and the idea that is Alex Trebek is very generous and very giving and very thoughtful and, dare I say, intellectual. You can't do a show like Jeopardy and not know a little something about something in the world, you know?
Right. Well, just through osmosis.
Yes, he's always struck me as kind of like one of the better people of the world. Kind of a human being that we should strive to become like, maybe a little bit more. Anyway, guys, question for you is, what do these comments and sentiments from Alex Trebek mean to you, especially coming off the heels of Thanksgiving, coming off the heels of the passing of Alex Trebek? I think we need more of this in the world. We need more positivity, more kindness, and just more promotion of charity in the world. What do you think? Jump on down to the comment section. Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys. Now it is the time of the show. Time of the show. This is the part of the show where we jump in and take some of your live questions. I totally did not end that sentence properly, but anyway, here we go.
Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
We are now going to jump in and take some of your live comments and questions. You've been firing comments and questions in all show long, so let's go ahead and do that now. Let's get Darryl up on screen. And our first comment was it was from Scott Schultz, and we addressed that earlier. He says, "Too early. Good morning." He later goes on to point out that he is not on the East Coast. He is in Las Vegas, and it at the time that we started the show, it was 7 o'clock in the morning. So, Scott, if you're still watching, now it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and thanks for hanging out.
Way to wake up, Scott. Way to wake up.
Our next comment comes in from Matthew Wiles, all the way in Leeds in the UK, and Matthew says, "What's Thanksgiving?" Oh, Matthew. Oh, Matthew, if you even knew. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you and I? No, I don't think we did. Here's what my thought process was. I was thinking that we may have celebrated Thanksgiving together in Ireland back when we knew each other years ago, but I don't think you were at that particular Thanksgiving celebration. So for anyone who doesn't know, I mean, I just kind of thought Thanksgiving was common knowledge worldwide. Thanksgiving is a holiday that we celebrate in the United States, and Canada also has their own Thanksgiving celebration that they celebrate, which is to say, Darryl, help me out on the story here.
We are being presumptuous and assuming that Thanksgiving is an international holiday, and in fact, it is not.
No. It is
Our
purely
bad.
an American holiday. So essentially, like when the Pilgrims first came from Europe to the United States, I believe they landed somewhere around like Massachusetts, somewhere through there. There were some warring factions between the Pilgrims and the Native Americans. Understandably so. Guess who picked the fight? The Europeans. Not cool. Not cool, Pilgrims. But it was the Native Americans, I believe, who, when the Europeans came to America, I guess, I don't know what else to call it, like what it was back then. North America. Yeah, when the Pilgrims came to North America, they were not prepared for the harsh, wintry conditions. They weren't able to grow food. They didn't know how to, like, you can grow food in England because it's temperate temperatures all year round. But in Massachusetts, that soil gets frozen solid very, very quickly. So they had a very hard learning curve. It was the Native Americans that kind of extended a helping hand and say, all right, look, it looks like you guys are here to stay. So let's all get along. Let's all be thankful for what we have, and let's get together and create a great, big, huge Thanksgiving feast, or create what is known as Thanksgiving. Let's give thanks for the things that we have. That's the general story to Thanksgiving. Am I leaving anything out, Darryl?
No, you hit all the bullet points.
I know there's a lot more history in there that is negative, that was not taught in American schools, because we don't like negative history. We want to be the heroes of our own story.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more that I'm leaving out. If anybody else is watching and I don't want to make this a political discussion. I don't want to make this a socioeconomical discussion, whatever. Racial discussion, whatever. But like, if there's other big bullet points that I'm leaving out, drop them in the comment section below. We probably won't address them on the show, but just to spawn discussion, just so that we're getting our facts straight, do that.
This is a show about...
It's a movie show, yeah. Leave your Thanksgiving history to itself. Let's leave Snoopy and the Peanuts gang to tell that to us. Exactly. Matthew Wiles goes on to say, why are people trying to make Apple TV a thing? Not that I want to watch Mariah Carey special. I just don't want to have to pay out for another streaming service if more stuff goes there. I mean, I feel you, man. Here's the thing. Competition is good because it spawns creativity, because you have to be creative. If you want people to pay you money, you have to produce a product that's better than the other person's product, right? So competition is a good thing. But yeah, dude, I feel you.
The thing that's happening now with that is, do what you like. Everybody doesn't like the same stream. Apple TV may not be your cup of tea, and bro, I totally get not wanting to pay another $7.99 or another $14.99 or another $11.99 because this particular service has that. And it's like, okay, I've gotten to the point now where if I keep getting streaming services, I'm going to be paying just as much as I was paying to have that one cable service that I was sick and tired of and didn't want anyway. So I have to be a little more discerning about I choose for my platforms, and that's where I would go.
It's not just about the $6.99 or $14.99 now. That like in the future, they're like prices are only going to go up. Like Netflix just raised their price by $1. Last week or something like that? It just went up. I mean, granted, $1. That's an extra $12 a year. Okay. But
and
revenue for
that extra, how many billion for Netflix?
How many more billion for Netflix? And like, if I'm paying an extra $1 for Netflix, I'm paying an extra $1 for Hulu, I'm paying an extra $1 for Disney Plus, I'm paying an extra $1 for HBO Max, I'm paying an extra $1 for Apple TV Plus, I'm paying an extra $1 for CBS All Access, I'm paying an extra $1 for Paramount Plus. Same anyway. Like, it adds up. It adds up. I get it, man. You're right. Matthew Wiles goes on to say, also, I thought these kind of specials ended in the 70s with the Osmonds. They should have. They should have.
Wow.
Maybe they should have.
The Osmonds.
Oh, Donnie and Marie Osmond.
We're dating ourselves.
Yeah, Matthew. Oh, man. Cameron Rao. Aw, Cameron. You guys, if you have not seen Cameron and his husband Eric perform improv together, drop what you're doing and look up, what's the name of the show? It's a take on two different colors. It's like blue chartreuse or I can't remember. Cameron, if you're still watching, can you type in the name of your improv team name? Because it's genius. And it's beautiful, and I love you guys, and I want everybody to see it. Cameron Rao says, I'm super excited to hear her trio rendition of her holiday hit number 2, Oh Santa, with Ariana Grande and Jennifer Hudson. It's like Tony Basil's Mickey went Christmas style. I am not familiar with this because, as I previously mentioned, I'm not the biggest Mariah Carey fan on the planet. it's only been in the past couple of years that All I Want for Christmas Is You has started to resonate with me, and I kind of don't hate it anywhere near as much as I used to. So I'm not familiar with Oh Santa, but hey, between Mariah Carey, Ariana Grande, and Jennifer Hudson, woof! I mean,
That's some.
yeah,
Isn't just singing. That's singing.
that's singing.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. And I also like your comparison to a Christmassy version of "Hey Mickey, hey Mickey,
Oh, Mickey, you so fine.
you're so fine, you blow my mind, hey Mickey."
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mickey.
She
Anyway.
could dance too.
Which one?
Well, I'm Tony Basil.
I mean, they can all dance. I mean, they're
But
ridiculously
she could
talented.
dance.
Can't she?
She was actually the Paula Abdul before there was a Paula Abdul.
Get out of here.
Oh yeah, she was the
Straight
go-to
up. Now
gal
tell
when
me.
when you wanted your stuff choreographed. She was the go-to gal. And
Yes.
now I'm dating myself.
As you should. Cameron Rao goes on to clarify. He says, in the upcoming holiday special, yeah. I think that was fairly clear. I think you made your intents known. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing that. Matthew Weil says, I hate you, Matt. Why do you pester me with this? John Boyega, I hate you. I don't even want to read this. John Boyega would have been my pick for Grindelwald. I hate you. I hate you so much right now. So here's what's going on. Matthew Wiles and I have a bet going on. I don't hate John Boyega. I think he's an okay actor. I don't think he's a great actor. I think he's fine. He's okay. Matthew Wiles seems to be under the he's of the opinion that John Boyega is going to be, if they are going to recast Black Panther, that he thinks that John Boyega is going to slip into the role of Black Panther. I call BS. No, I do not see that.
You know I am all things Black
Yes,
Panther.
I do.
And I have to say this.
Don't you dare agree with Matthew Wiles.
This is me.
I hate you, Darryl.
Probably the greatest Black Panther fan on the face of this earth. And here's what I'm going to say. I don't know what's going to happen, but my personal opinion is yes. Yes, T'Challa should be recast. And here's why.
I agree.
You have had 5 people play Superman. 7 people play Batman. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you've only had one person play Black Panther. And you've had tons of people play James Bond. You're saying there's no other actor on the face of the earth that could pull off that role.
I agree.
I call BS on that too. People are in their feelings. Take your feelings out of the equation and look at that logically. Yeah. Yes, sure, he could be the new Black Panther, but so could somebody else.
I could not agree with you more. I just don't think it's going to be John Boyega.
Who else, in your opinion, do you think could pull
I can't
it
remember
off?
his name off the top of my head. The guy from The Invisible Man. He was like the best friend of Kate Moss in The Invisible Man. Hold on, I have to look it up. Give me 1 second.
I think.
I am
Okay.
looking this up. Invisible Man. Aldous Hodge. This is going to be
Okay.
terrible. I should not be doing this. But so there's Aldous Hodge right there.
Oh yes, he played Ren in Straight Outta Compton.
Yes. MC Ren. Yes, that is right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aldous Hodge is my pick for Black Panther.
I could see that. I could totally see that.
Here's the thing. The acting ability of Chadwick Boseman was incredible. He was a top-notch actor. Top-notch. John Boyega, he's not at the same level. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. He's just not at the level, acting-wise.
And you feel like Hodge is?
Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
I am not against that choice.
Okay, well, let me clarify. Is he at the same level as Chadwick Boseman? Let me take that back, because I just immediately, without thinking about it, double down. He's not at the same level as Chadwick Boseman, but he's way closer, much closer than John Boyega. John Boyega is a guy going through the motions. The only film that I actually saw that I believed that he was a character living in that world was Attack the Block. I thought his
well, of course, I was going to mention that, and I think that's still, to me, head and shoulders his best work.
And what's that? I mean, if that's his best work, I mean, everything is subjectivity. All film is subjective, right?
Right.
I don't know. I do not see John Boyega playing T'Challa. I just don't. And of course, here's Matthew, and he's trolling me. He's trolling me by saying John Boyega would have been my pick for Grindelwald. So he's trolling me a little bit. So well played, sir. Well played. Matthew Wiles goes on to say, Mads Mikkelsen is amazing. It's actually made me excited for the film, which was a bit meh. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that you're alone in that opinion, Matthew. I think there's a lot of people that are like, I just kind of feel meh about the whole Fantastic Beasts franchise. I know, Darryl, you expressed your opinions that you kind of enjoy Fantastic Beasts more than Harry Potter.
I did, but don't get it twisted. I don't like Harry Potter at all. Okay, so I after Goblet of Fire, I gave up. That's where
Oh, really? Interesting. Okay.
Yes, I was done after Goblet of Fire. I'm like, okay, I see where this is going, and I'm good. Now along comes the Fantastic Beast thing, and it was squeaky clean, and it's got a bit of an edge to it, and there are Americans in it. Hooray! So I got into it, but not to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm sold, I'm vested. It's a diversion.
It is. It's a huge diversion, and that's fair. And again, all film is subjective, so there's no right or wrong in that. The competitive person in me would say you're wrong for not liking Harry Potter, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I think. Like, it's just not your cup of tea. That's fine.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
It's all good.
Right. Basically, that's it in a nutshell.
Matthew Wiles goes on to say, no, please don't send it to HBO Max, referring to Godzilla versus Kong. Mike, please talk to your people to talk to their people. It needs to come to the UK, please. I have a lot of sway over at Warner Media. I know a lot of people who know a lot of people, and I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do for you. He goes on to say, is HBO Max owned by Warner Brothers? It is. It's owned by Warner Media. So Warner Brothers is the studio. Warner Media is the parent company. So HBO Max, Warner Brothers Studios, Warner Brothers Animation, like all of that stuff comes under the umbrella of Warner Media. So, and I know that like HBO Max can't come to the UK right now because Sky TV has a lot of contractual obligations to fill, and like future contracts to fill with Warner Media, and so it's a complicated mess, and I don't know the entire minutia of it, but there you go. Matthew Wiles goes on to say, Disney Plus, 18 plus, sign me up. Black Widow on Disney and not you put a dirty word in here, sir. How dare you? I understand that you like blanked it out, but you insinuated a dirty word. He says Black Widow on Disney and not HBO Max. Sign me up. Yeah, I mean, if obviously Disney in Disney Plus, like Disney's going in the direction of making Disney Plus their premier feature. Like this is the new focus of the company, right?
Bread and butter.
They're in priority. All of their priorities all being boiled down to Disney Plus. So, I mean, knowing that, it kind of makes sense that they're going to do an 18 plus version, a restricted access. I could see that. I could definitely see that. And with Black Widow going straight to Disney Plus. Now, no announcements have been made. Nothing is official. Disney still could do whatever they want. They could pull a Wonder Woman and put it out in theaters and have it. I think that would be the smartest thing to do, honestly. You want to see it in theaters? Hey, you can do that. Go see it in theaters. Yeah. But if you don't want to see it in theaters, there's a $30 premium to watch Black Widow. I think that would be more enticing than what they did with Mulan. Because first of all, Mulan was just not... It's not that enticing of a property to say, oh, I have to pay $30 to see Mulan. People will pay $30 to see Black Widow. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Do you see it any other way?
Yeah. Somebody's going to pay.
People are going to do it. Matthew says, this leak is real. How can Disney Plus not do this based on Netflix and now HBO Max operating model? Well, here's the thing. It has not been verified. The leak hasn't been verified. Nobody, I mean, like I said before, I'm 55%. Yeah, I think it's real. But then there's another 45% of me that's like, no, I'm a little dubious. I think it's more real than it isn't. But there's so much room for error here. You know, I would even go so far as to say 60-40. I will go so far as to say 60-40%. I think this is real. 40% it's not real. Yeah, I mean, like, it hasn't been verified. We don't know. We don't even know the source of where the video came from. Den of Geek did not cite their sources. They were the first ones to run with the story about it, but even they just said it's just kind of out there and there's no specific source. So unless you know a specific source, the very first instance as to who leaked it and where it was leaked on, like, did it come out on Reddit? I don't know. Did it come out on 4chan? I don't know. I don't know where it came from. It's just out. We know that it's out there. Don't know the source of where it is. I mean, and so there again, that's another reason that I'm a little dubious of it. We don't know where it came from. We know it's there. Yeah. We don't know where it came from. There's no way to verify this source, and nobody's saying anything. So that's why I'm a little dubious. But everything of what the trailer promotes is totally kind of in line with the business model that Disney's been talking about for a while. So it seems true. I don't know. There's a part of me that doesn't want it to be true because it will inevitably taint the Disney name a little bit, just a little bit. Just to say that there's a restricted access. You have to be 18 years old or over to, or, you know, say you're 18 or whatever. But just the fact that there's a corner of Disney Plus that, some people aren't allowed to go to. You know, whenever I went to the video store growing up, there was always the adult section. Not just the adult section, but there was also the horror movie section. I use quotations, but it's real. There was the horror movie section. And as a kid, as a child, I was not allowed to walk through the horror movie section. Yeah, we could go through action, adventure, but there was this feeling of like, oh no, this video store, they have an adult section. They have a horror movie section. Oh, they're inevitably, there will be this feeling of Disney has lowered their standards. Not from everyone, but from some people. So there will, and you know that there will be people out there that will say Disney is lowering their standards. No, there will be people that believe that.
Well, I I have somewhat of a different take.
Okay.
I feel like Disney is trying to appeal to everyone.
I agree.
They're trying to appeal to all demographics. And in trying to appeal to those demographics, they know that they have adults. There are adults who watch.
But you can't please everyone.
Universe.
You're not going to be able
there
to please
adults,
everybody.
Right. There are adults who watch Star Wars. There are adults, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we want to give, because we got a ton of content for kids, but we want to expand the library for adults. And in order to do that, gotta have adult content.
I agree.
And they've already started showing PG-13 movies. You got all kind of movies with provocative content. MCU's got some stuff in it, okay?
He did.
he got beheaded right there on the scene. Like, whoa, hey, isn't that R-rated movie fair? You know, people being beheaded and that type of thing. So I feel like they're trying harder to appeal to adults.
I agree.
And it's Disney. They'll survive.
But you don't think that the people who've boycotted Disney for promoting gay rights, people who've boycotted Disney for supporting Black Lives Matter, people who've boycotted Disney for supporting some of these causes, that they're going to look at this and say,
how has that boycotting served them so far? Has it hurt Disney's bottom line?
I'm not talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. Like I'm just saying there will be a faction of people that will see this and say Disney is lowering their standards.
Well, there was a faction of people who thought that when they purchased all the Star Wars and that they're expanding in a not so wholesome way, but it's working.
Yeah, no. I agree with you. Oh, I totally agree with you. I'm just saying there are going to be people that will look at this and be like, I don't know, Disney. They're going to use the slippery slope argument. Well, if Disney is starting to lower their standards here, where's the limit? Like, where's the line, you know? And of course, the slippery slope argument is a ridiculous argument. That is very rarely.
I'm confident they'll get over it.
I agree. I think we spent way too much time on this topic. Matthew Wild says, Darryl, is it snowing in Alaska? I imagine it is always Christmassy there.
That would be a big negatory, Matthew. It is not snowing currently, but there is snow on the ground. And the current temperature is about 24 degrees.
That's not bad.
It is actually not bad. I actually put on a coat and took my dog out last night to handle her business in my pajamas. So
it's doable.
It's bearable. It's cold, but it's bearable.
It's currently 61 here in New York.
See, that sounds like it's tropical.
Now, Matthew, for you, you're using the Celsius grade here. So in Celsius terms, Darryl, you said it's what, 24? So that's what, maybe like a negative. It's what, like -5?
Yeah, 24 Celsius would be like 5.
Well, because 0 is freezing.
24 degrees would be like 5 Celsius. I'm sorry.
Well, it's got to be negative because 0 Celsius is freezing, which is 32. So it's got to be below that. So it's like a -5.
Hang on, my computer's slow.
So while Darryl looks up temperature conversions, Matthew says, I do know Thanksgiving. I was pulling your leg. You should have said pulling your turkey leg, Matthew. There's the pun. You asked what we did. I did nothing but work. Oh, so sad. And he finishes up the comment section by saying, eyeing up your Wolverine for Black Panther, by the way. I'm sorry, but this statue of Wolverine is not on the docket for... I told you I will select 5 different toys from our shelves. Okay, just for clarification, going back to the John Boyega thing. If John Boyega...
Oh, it's -3, by the way.
Okay, great. 24 degrees Fahrenheit, -3 Celsius.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, so John Boyega. If John Boyega is cast as T'Challa in Black Panther, I will select 5 different toys from my shelf behind me, and Matthew will have an option to pick one of those 5 toys as winner, as victor of the John Boyega T'Challa Championship. I don't know what else to call it.
The Juggernaut. Matthew, take that Juggernaut.
Oh, man. That's heavy. That's heavy.
That's a dope. Is that a sideshow collectible?
No. This is Diamond Select. This is Marvel Diamond Select.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that a Bowen? No, that's not a Bowen.
Is it a what?
Bowen, Randy Bowen.
Oh no, it's not. It's
Okay.
it's more of like the generic Diamond Select toys. I think this is like $25-$30. Pretty cheap, but it is hefty. This has some weight to it.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite figures, by the way.
It sits rather prominent.
Oh, he's so great. But yeah, I mean, I haven't selected which toys will be on the docket for selection.
And is that Avengers display in the back? No, to your right. Turn around.
Oh, right here.
To your right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's Bradford. That's Bradford Exchange.
Oh,
right?
you have a good eye, my friend. Yeah. So, and
Okay.
right behind my head, I have Black Widow and Hawkeye as well. Bradford Exchange, yeah.
Okay.
But my pride and joy, I rarely do this on the show. I like to keep the camera, the computer steady and still, but I will show you my pride and joy. All of the Avengers displayed in their glory. Yeah.
Okay.
Not too bad.
Nice.
Not too bad.
Nice.
Anyway,
Nice. Look, I'm more of a bad guy type. See.
Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I have my baddies.
Victor Von
And then,
Doom.
of course, I've got to have my.
T'Challa, baby.
That is actually an Eagle Moss chess piece.
Oh, interesting. Is Dr. Doom a chess piece as well?
It actually, Dr. Doom isn't a chess piece. It's just it's an Eagle Moss pewter too, but
Gotcha.
it's not a chess piece. Just
That's
a
beautiful.
piece.
Matthew finishes off. He did one more comment. Yes, yeah, the Juggernaut, please. Just hang on. Just hold. We'll just hang on a minute. Just hang on. Darryl, thank you so much for being on the show today. Thank you for spreading your expertise, your knowledge, your wisdom, your insight. This is one of the reasons that I love having you on the show, is that you're so thoughtful and you love this stuff as much as I do. I do.
I do.
I'm
I'm mad I didn't come up with the idea before you.
birds of a feather, man. Birds of a feather. Before you go, Darryl, please tell all of our viewing audience where they can find you online and what projects you have coming up in the near future.
Okay. As I said, I do a weekly podcast called Be Real with D-Real. And it's edutainment is what I like to call it, because the topic might be something educational, it might be something entertaining, it might be a little bit of both. Hell, better not bring your kids. Sometimes it can tend to get a little heated in there, and there might be the occasional expletive, but I try to keep that to a minimum. As far as what I'm doing, I am actually working with a local theater company here, a friend of mine, David Block. We are doing a Tom Swift radio show.
Ooh, do tell.
And I'm doing a couple voices on that.
Oh, dude, that's genius. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that, and please, we're filming this live, so I will get all the information from Darryl so that we can put it down in the description below, so that you can go out and check out his podcast yourself.
Absolutely.
Darryl, thank you so much for being on the show today, and hope to see you again soon.
Aye, Captain Black.
All right, guys, if you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share, because that is exactly what Mariah Carey's Christmas special on Apple TV Plus would want you to do. All right, guys, my name is Mike Brown. This is Gotta Love the Movies, your daily dose of movie news. I'm here all the time. Don't forget, you guys, we live in a weird, crazy world where everybody has their own thoughts and opinions, and sometimes those thoughts and opinions clash with one another. So if you have an opportunity to inject a little bit of kindness into the world, please take that opportunity. If you have an opportunity to speak kind words to each other, please take that opportunity. And as always, in the words of Bill and Ted, be excellent to each other. I'll see you guys on Monday.